Greetings and welcome. This is Psychic Medium Roberto, and I truly hope you're doing well. Now, I've just drawn out this name here, and thank you to Diana. Now, sorry, this is a bit impromptu. The reason why I'm starting the recording right now, and I have done quite a bit of work already on this case, is first of all, the case was suggested by Diana Clark. Thank you very much. Looking at the case of Dr. Timothy Cunningham, but you just gave me a heart stopper. Because if I jump quickly to this slide, I've actually just finished typing in, before collecting your name, whistleblower 16/7, message from spirit 16/7, the day he leaves the building, as it were, right? So then I saw CDC whistleblower, and that gave me a heart stopper. So I decided I'm going to start recording right away in the energy of surprise and gasp. So connected as we are. So let's just go. The subject matter is of a mature nature and deals with true crime events. My heart's still beating. Disclaimer, all cases are treated as alleged until proven in a court of law. And looking at the case of Dr. Timothy J. Cunningham. Now, interestingly, I have his date of birth here. Startling. And I do have the CDC's date of birth here as well. And very significant that we have this information, because it is the circumstantial evidence that we'll scoop up during the investigation on the day and when his body was unfortunately discovered. So just to bring everyone up to speed, if you're not familiar with the case, and I certainly wasn't until now. So on the top here, February the 7th, Dr. Cunningham resigns from a deployment team while working for CDC, right? So I've drawn out some of the numbers here. Then on the timeline, February 12, he sends a text message to his mom at 5:21 a.m. And this will be on this day here, February 12. Later, he tries again to call his mom at 9:12. And in both cases, unanswered. And first of all, love and light to the family who have lost a genius here, if you look at his numbers here. Genius man, 33-6, 44-8, power number deluxe here. We'll get into that in a minute. And then on February the 12th is seeing leaving work for the last time. So the situation begins in terms of his disappearance February 12. Obviously there was ongoing issues here around his resignation. So February 7, if we look, the day he resigns, would obviously kickstart something, right? And we have this hidden outburst here, 22. Now, it was only just a quick overview. So he goes missing on this day, February 12. He's never seen ever again until his body is discovered, unfortunately, on April the 3rd. Now, I've done some preliminary work, and the objective was to go through it together. So I've done very little, just enough to confirm what needs to be confirmed to do the reading, right? Now, when we're dealing with, I'm going to start with the discovery day, because that's the information. Well, there's debates about whether he was actually found on this day, or because there's another theory, and I will just mention before we get going, where his body was found, was actually searched on a particular day and was never found there. Yet his body appeared, well, we'll need to go back quite a few more days to discover when the body was actually placed there. But same on the top here, same area was searched on February the 23rd, where his body was discovered. But the body was discovered on April the 3rd, and they searched in the same area. So there's that issue as well. So if we go to the day the police discover his body, so of course it ends with the 18-9, which to me is not suicide. Now here's a clue. 4 plus 4. Now let's put ourselves in the context of a doctor. So we're dealing with a specialist doctor here, right? Working for the CDC, biology, chemicals, all those kind of things. And of course, when you work in labs, part of the issue around labs and working with dangerous chemicals is the issue of processes and procedures. And 4s speak to processes and procedures. 4 speak to facts, figures, data, information. It's right or wrong. It can't be anything in between. Okay? So for me, here's the issue. This is the reason, one, why I believe the good doctor wanted to leave the company. Now, a good way to look at this is to find, for example, 11 2s. Now, we need to find a little bit more than one 11 2, because the year that this takes place in is an 11 2. So 11 2 in conjunction with, in fact, we should include that, in conjunction with these double 4s and the 11 2 year. That's illegal, unlawful processes and procedures have been taking place. And very alarming around a crime scene, and we're in a 72-hour window here where we'll garner our information. 1910-1. It's amazing how money always precedes the value of human life. So if we look at, I'll take that as a segue, CDC has an outcome 10-1. Now, if we look at CDC from as their date of birth and who this person is in relation to the context in the environment in which they operate. So 20 with an outcome 2 can speak about the masses, or does. The masses. 8 speaks about biology. the environment they work in, we can say. So here's the interesting thing. Control and prevention, huh? Okay, let me deal with this first. 28-10-1. So let's just say there's a virus. We need to find a preventative measure. So we have two biologies that will make the vaccine. Okay, that's their job. Like the sheep in the UK. However, it's a 10-1 outcome. We can say, let's say, if the priority was for global protection, or even just for the US, 10-1 is too small for that. You need like a 20, 30, 40 is what these guys should be. But effectively, it's just pocket money going into pockets. Not for the needs of the masses, but for the group. Money. So what do we have here? I believe there's been a conflict of interest. Paperwork, policies, procedures. So on the day that he... let's have a look here. On the day that Dr. Cunningham resigns, so there's this outburst situation, but the day also ends in an 11-2, which means there's, yes, parting of ways. Remember I said to you we need more 11s? There's something illegal that has happened inside you, and the only time I heard about this case is when our good friend Deanna Clark suggested it. When Deanna Clark suggested the show is the first time I've seen this. And I'm in it now, but I swear I started the recording. I found 16-7. And then the last slide I needed to get ready to get going was and last but no means least, to grab the viewer name. Thank you. And here we are, in a restless place like this is, where corporations are making decisions based on financial gain. Oh, I hear someone say Boeing. Now, I have picked up a number of times. 16-7, yes, does speak to the whistleblower. But 16-7 also speaks about the serial nature of this company. Here's it here again. Let's go into the actual where he disappears. 16-7 highlights this serial behavior. The 14-5, ladies and gentlemen, foul play in the yard. Remember, as I was telling you, I hadn't seen it before, and here's the evidence, we'll get there. The same area was searched February 23, 2018, right? As per the records. But then the same area is where the two fishermen find his body. February, March, April, right? What do we have on the scene here, ladies and gentlemen? 26-8. Staging. Dirty bastards. In the blue zone, in the main summary day, 28-10-1. Transactional issues, always about the money. And I did receive an image of our good doctor being held at gunpoint in a park-type environment. It feels a little bit more wilderness than a curated family park with swings, etc. And I believe that's a similar area where he was found. But the main thing for me, the image shows me he was held at gunpoint. So there's so many matches here that we can go on for days. So February 15, in the middle of the day, we have that 8, right? Plus the 28-10-1. Here's the 8. The 17-8 also speaks to, of course, he's at the scene. But where you look at the position, the 8 there is the same position as the 8 there. You see this 15-6, let's zoom in here. So if we're looking for additional evidence of whistleblower numbers, right? Or issues around the reason why you would whistleblow, right? So of course, correctly put, 4 plus 4, there's the conflict of interest, right? So now if we go into the summary day, we have a 15-6. So if we go on a micro level, 6 speaks about virus, okay? 6 is the number for virus. And that's why the doctor, as a virologist, has all these 6s, if I pronounce it correctly. He has all these 6s. All the 8s. Disease, that kind of capacity, 6. And then 8, the biology. So what do we have here? So say we've got an antivirus or whatever they do in those secret Illuminati chambers. So the outcome is a virus, okay, or antivirus, whatever you want to call it. However, we have a 5 here. And when you have a 5 on the scene, it means there's been manipulation. There's a human hand involved that has created, for a lack of a better word, a proxy of a virus or antivirus. But we may question, so what were the means in order to create that virus that has created this illegal issue and not following processes and procedures? So we got, as we saw in the blah, blah, blah sheep show, 15-6, perversion. And lots of 14-5s around as well. So if you want to take it on another level, it would also impact money because it's fraudulent. 14-5 is fraud. Fraud. So if we ever needed to confirm what door we need to knock on, CDC should be put on the top list here, because I've just seen now, February 7, when he hands in his resignation. So if we took it on a human level, 20 outbursts, 2, of course he's not happy. But it also signifies, so the reason for his resignation is because of a hidden 22. And this man is a genius, or was a genius. He's got a power number in the day, 33.6 super doctor viruses, 44.8 super engineer doctor, however that translates in the real world. So I would go as confirming whistleblower. Whistleblower. Thank you for the lead. Definitely whistleblower. Foul play in the air, stinks to high heaven. Fraud and corruption, all for Fat Cat City. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please leave your comments and thoughts. I do love engage with them. And please stay safe, stay alert. See you in the next one. Bye for now.